versus now? How has it changed? Seible. I think my first impression of you was that you were very difficult for me to read at first. I could not get a grasp on like who you were and what your story was until we got to know each other more. And I think now I just really see you as someone who is compassionate and always wants to do the best that you can. And I think that's very, very cool of you. And I really, really respect that about you. I'm very excited to see all the ideas that you have for the future. For Zeal, my first impression of you is that you were some kind of monster in the sense that like you have so many things that you're capable of and so much experience that I was almost intimidated at first. You were actually very like mellow and you're very easy to work with and excited for the future that we have here together. And then with Frio, I think the earliest impression for you is that you're stone cold, like super serious. But getting to know you, you are actually a total clown. When you let it out, you're a clown. You're actually very, very goofy. I think if I had to say what's changed, but you're very like, you're on track. You know, you have a very clear outline for how things should be, and I think you're very good at staying on those rails. Very excited to laugh together in the future. The first impression of Frio, I also thought that he was very serious. I thought he would be the one to kind of ground the group, and he does. But he is silly enough that in ways we aren't as grounded as I expected because he'll go along with so many bits. And I love that. You with Seible, I agree that you were hard to get a read of when we first met, but I knew that you were fun and energetic. You have a level of very seriousness and compassion for like it's nice to be your friend. And then Kaelix, not much has changed. What? What? I knew that you were very funny and kind of like a class clown kind of vibe, right? But you do come off as very, very empathetic and very, very understanding of those around you, but also when to, you know, tone it back or take things seriously. And I like that as well.
My perspective for Kaelix has not really changed much. Ever since day one, you've always been like very cheerful, very like happy to be here and very eager to get to know us, spend time with us, despite perhaps you saying a lot of things that can be taken the other way, or perhaps not, saying that you have difficulty reading the room. You are very emotionally mature and you're very considerate, and I think that's something that I respect a lot. Next would be Seible. I think he's still the one that I understand the least sometimes. I really didn't know like what you were thinking, what you were planning, what you wanted to do, despite still not knowing what goes through your mind, what you're going to say next. Sometimes I understand that you're very like serious about our activities. You're very considerate to us. You appreciate being with us, and I think that's something that made me feel I can trust this person. I'm glad to be with this person. And next for Zeal, my impression, it didn't change that much. At first, I think you came off a little bit shy or serious. But I think after you warmed up with the rest of us, it's like, this guy can also be a clown. I thought you were very silly and very funny and very gentle also.
Kei-chan has every right to be completely insufferable. You're so talented. You're so amazing. Insufferable because they're so perfect. Because I see just how hard you work. It's okay to be insufferable because you have all the skills. So Gin-chan has so much. The skill, the experience, the talent. He is a beast. You know, you would expect someone that is just so talented at like producing, like making, like creating, you know, and just who is so just in tune with music, like literally breathes music. Actually, Gin-chan's like the most down to earth, like super softy, like kind and caring person. Puri-chan's like, you know, when he says he's studying, you know, not afraid to ask the questions. He'll challenge everything too. Like he'll actually go in there and like actually try to learn. That just extends to the music that he does, the rap that he does. I shudder to think of how many amazing hours of like practice and hard work that goes into everything. That's because that's what makes you amazing.